gosh, this entire setup of videos is full of dust. Let me just wipe all that off.
Yeah.
Finally.
Also, you all good there, Hype?
Oh my god, it's been forever. Ugh.
A forever and a day. So yes, ladies and gentlemen, this is something we've actually had on the card since November of 2018, and only now we're finally getting around to recording it. This is my commentary on Kirby 64, The Crystal Shards, and yeah, all is not looking well on this planet full of fairies.
If I can intrude real quick, I guess it's probably just a testament to my acting, because my coughing fit was apparently so convincing, my mom actually walked in to make sure I was alright.
Yeah, I thought you were alright.
yeah, I thought you
I was
were,
worried for
too.
you.
Yeah, I was just like...
Hype, is it normal to be coughing up dark matter?
Oh no.
Well, no, I was implying, I was coughing from the dust of how long we've had this footage.
Oh, that's what it was. You had to blow the dust off. Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I thought it was. How did you guys not know that?
I don't know. But anyway, yeah. Holy crap.
Welcome to Kirby 64, and yeah, talk about a very unprofessional way to start the commentary, considering
fine.
everyone's literally facing everywhere but forward.
Oh yeah, the guys on the screen. Yeah.
Yeah.
Guys,
That
cameras
always,
are here.
like-
Kaboom.
That always kind of...
So
I don't know.
yeah, I know. So this is the first Kirby game I ever played.
More or less the same here. Like, my first official exposure to the pink puffball was with Smash Brothers, and then not even a year after that, this game came out. I'm like, okay, I'm down.
I feel so left out.
Why you feel left
Oh,
out?
you never actually played this before, Seely?
No, I haven't.
Really?
My first Kirby game was Air Ride.
I was about to say, if it's any consolation, sis, I'm kind of in a similar boat. I've never played this. The original Superstar was my first Kirby game.
This
Yeah.
one was my
Ow.
first Kirby game.
Same.
And only Kirby game.
Looky.
Aw.
Wait, which one?
This one.
This one.
The crystals have gone everywhere.
So yeah, we should really get onto that juicy plot. That enigmatic dark matter from the past couple of Kirby games has come back and has wrought his rather indirect vengeance across this planet full of fairies and their power source, the Crystal Shards. In the chaos that ensued, though, the Crystal Shards has exploded all across the cosmos, and some of them even landed on good old Popstar, where Kirby, well, he was just enjoying his night looking at the incoming meteor shower of Crystal Shards, and of course he meets up with the fairy that was riding on said Crystal Shards ribbon, and well, being the good Samaritan that he is, he decides to help her out on her plight in order to get them all back.
And now we're introduced to... This is one of the big things about Kirby Superstar, Kirby 64, and introduced the idea of combining power-ups to get interesting combos. Like,
Yep.
you take the spike and the fire abilities to make, like, fire arrows.
And fire swords.
For fire cutting.
Sword.
Can I say this game, I think, is what got me thinking about game design at all when I first played
really?
it. Yeah.
That's cool.
I mean, what a very specific choice, though. That being said, if there's one thing I'll always take from Kirby 64 over any other Kirby game in the franchise, it's a 2D game, but it usually does... It's very good about not really feeling like one, because it's very much... It follows a similar type of level design as Klonoa, in that the worlds are in full 3D, even though you're still moving in a 2D plane.
I think one of the
So
biggest.
it's-
I think one of the big, especially not so much here, but the lighting is a good idea. But definitely when we get out of here, I think one of the biggest proponents of that is,
Come on.
Touch the baby!
I think one of the biggest proponents of that whole 2D game that feels 3D is all about the camera angles.
Yeah.
The camera angles and just the overall where that 2D line, is drawn from. Because clearly Kirby was moving in a little bit of a curve there, and it's like, I don't know, that's just one of those things I kind of miss from 2D games of its type.
Oh my gosh! The jaw!
Arms are bloody jaws.
Yeah.
That is...
So yeah.
that is that.
So since since this is not our first Kirby game that we've actually commentated over, I guess I should say, James, your thoughts on how this how Kirby's first venture into full 3D worked out.
Debatably.
Well, I will say this much, there's going to be some nostalgic bias involved in this commentary just because this was my first Kirby game, and, well, again, there's a lot I do appreciate from it. Just, from the visual style, it's... Oh, yeah, the firecrackers, it's all great. It's all jolly and good.
Actually...
I have a lot of fun memories with this game, even though I will agree, it has not aged the best.
Yeah, I do want to use that as a... Ooh, Waddle Dee.
Hey,
Waddle Dee.
Oh, it looks pretty.
No, don't touch that! You'll get crystal crazy!
Eh?
What was that?
Man. I've always wanted to wield it. I've always wanted to wear a bandana
there.
too. Now that
Why aren't I running away? Why was I just standing there?
Waddle Dee has turned into the vicious Waddle Doo.
Yes.
Oh my. Yeah, that was nightmare fuel for me when I was a kid.
which
Yeah.
is this how? I mean, is this how it works,
how?
James? Like dark matter infused D's become Doos?
I guess? I don't know. I mean, honestly, it's weird because, again, this is my very first Kirby game, and then every other Kirby game where I see that the Waddle Doos are actually just a subspecies of the Waddle Dees, I'm like, I am so confuzzled.
And I saw them. I thought it was all dark matter, but yeah, continue.
I want to make a joke. I really wish it was kind of like what happens with Bandana D in Superstar, where it's like you can beat the boss easily just by inhaling it and swallowing it.
That would have been cute, but there we go. Crystal shards retrieved.
Yay.
How important are these crystal? Well, Ribbon looked weird there. How important are these crystal shards?
Oh, they're pretty much your they're pretty much your plot MacGuffin in the game. I mean, they sort of are like the energy spheres in that they're not entirely mandatory just to finish the game, but collecting them all will grant you the full ending of the game.
Okay, so let's go for it.
And, I mean, despite all that rather odd little nightmarish moment there, Waddle Dee has just recovered well enough to join us on our adventure.
Yay.
Nice.
Yay.
Oh, I always go for the monster cards.
Yeah, what are those cards?
What are the monster cards, Gui?
Well, I mean, they're basically pictures of enemies that you have that you encounter throughout the game.
Okay.
And you even learn their names.
It's just like
Nice.
yeah, and they give each of them a name. Every single one of them has a name. Shuriken,
Ninja stars.
Shuriken.
Oh, I wanna take some time to because I don't know if we've given her like a lot of room to talk about it. What is your experience with this game? And I guess if we've never gone your opinion on it, Kirby in general, Jordan.
Okay, so, for those of you who are wondering, I think this is
yo.
technically my second game that I've done a Kirby, that I've been involved that's Kirby related on this channel. But, in general, I find Kirby to be a very cute series, and when I saw him in Smash Brothers, I thought he was pretty interesting, and then I remember, I don't remember if the 64 came with the Nintendo 64 that we got, or if we got it separately afterwards.
There you go.
But in general, I really like this game. It's nice, it's cute, it's got quite a good story to it. And I like the copy abilities.
The poor little bastard would never know what hit him.
Yeah, I guess I should.
That one is probably the
Good.
most dangerous one because you actually
You
need a
need
helmet
your
to
helmet.
protect yourself.
Definitely.
Like no matter what the distance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Electro, finally. Okay, what can this do?
Yay.
Ooh.
I guess we'll find out in this next room.
we'll
Sealy,
find
you
out in
mentioned
the
that this
next
was not your first. No worries. I know you mentioned. Nice. I know you mentioned it wasn't your first Kirby game, Sealy. Though, did you ever give this game a shot?
No, I never got a chance to do that.
Not even on the Virtual Console? I'm honestly surprised.
Oops.
Ow!
And
Ow.
unfortunately, unless Nintendo gets around to making that N64 thingy, we're never gonna be able to
There
do
you
this
go.
again.
I
Whoa.
still
This
have
one.
a working.
It's Spark.
It's a lightning
Lightning
I
needle.
still have
rod.
a working Nintendo 64 if I could find a copy somewhere.
I'll look into that a bit, but I will say this is to me. I want to say this may be the first game that I wonder if is this the first game that they finally like started using the first like Kirby voice actress like dedicated to it. Or-
I believe so, yes.
Oh, and that's also you see Kirby like bailing out there. A very unique thing to Kirby 64.
AD.
You do not have the infinite jump that you have in the other games. Kirby will tire out if you
Bless
jump
you.
too much.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
Yeah.
never really...
because
they,
the sneeze went away halfway through.
Oh.
That's
hurts.
weird.
But yeah, no, like, this is... Honestly, there's never been a Kirby game ever again since this point. I guess you could probably argue... Actually, no, not even an right. But basically, yeah. The only time where Kirby actually gets tired out from flying, and it's like... It's such a weird thing to limit, but it's like... It doesn't really hurt anything in the long run, just because you just have enough... You have just enough firepower to actually get through any of this level design.
The doggy was scared. So it
Yeah,
looks
he-
like it's not dependent on how long you're in the air. It just you can only ascend a certain amount before you reach your limit.
Yeah.
Well, actually, no. It is entirely dependent on how long you hold your breath. It's not
Oh.
so much like how much you just jump up. 'Cause
Yeah.
after time,
Oh.
you do
Well,
tire
I
out.
think,
Yeah, that is fair.
I think
Good
I think
point.
we meant like is that like would you compare it to like how Tails' flight works in the Sonic games?
Exactly like how Tails' flight works.
Okay, fair enough. And more mini bosses.
Yeah.
But get used to this because this is pretty much something that Kirby 64 likes to ride with in stride.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I applaud you for going for most of these like copyability lists. I applaud you for going through all these almost copyability lists. Otherwise, you can break them very quickly.
Yeah, depending if you have the right
Oh.
setup at the very least. Oh, hey, Yado.
Oh, it's
Adeline.
Adeline.
Returning from 3.
Yep. I know there's some people that think they're both separate characters. I call that a little bullshit. And, oh look, she's found her latest inspiration for her art.
Now, I have a question. Am I the only one who at first thought Adeline was a boy?
Oh,
No, you were not.
I could see.
You're
I could
far
see it.
from
No,
the
it
only
definitely
one.
looked like a. I mean, it's it's a young girl, so it's not. Yeah, I could see it as a boy as well. It looks like Ash Ketchum.
This is why I remember giving me a quick spook as a child.
Yeah.
But now it's time for her to do her stuff.
If there's one thing I'll always applaud, like, you know, any N64 title that has Kirby in it at the very least, whether it be from Sakurai or just HAL in general, it's like, they do a really good job with its sound and design and making it feel very impactful.
Also, look, Kirby 3 sprites. Oh, geez,
Yeah.
not that. That one looks weird.
Don't eat that one because it.
You can actually swallow that one without losing any health, unlike the last game.
Whoa.
And then one of them is censored? It looks like it's censored.
It's like I'm just reminded of like the one Caddy video. It's like, how dare you, Crash? This is a Christian channel.
And
I was
uh-oh.
actually gonna say, just as I was killing that whatever it was, like, I think I'm gonna put that in my mouth?
No. And
No,
Even Kirby has standards.
good.
it's censored for a reason.
Yeah, no. And I will say, when we get around to it in Star Allies, I was so happy when they brought back Adeline and Ribbon.
Oh yeah.
The fact that they actually work together.
That's really like the biggest highlight of Star Allies, just the fact that they literally brought back a whole bunch of fan favorites from the series and made them playable one way or
Dark
another.
Matter.
But I do a painting of my master.
I mean, pretty much. He's
This
up
is the
to
only
no
time you
good.
actually get to see Dark Matter in this form ever again.
Yeah.
You know, there is much more. There's a lot less prickish ways of giving art critique Kirby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, now that I stop and think about it, what happened to Gooey?
Who?
I don't know, because Gui was supposed to be a kind part of Dark Matter, wasn't he?
Yeah, and then he just up and disappears after Dreamland 3.
Yeah, not until Star Allies he comes back.
Oh,
Uh-oh,
now
time for the
she's
painter!
Fight you myself!
She has no idea what she's doing. She's trying
She's
so
just
hard.
angry.
Oh, yeah,
Oh,
she-
just one kick.
which
Yeah.
I love they brought that back.
And she
It's
just
her dash
I love
attack
that like
in Star
I
Allies.
love that since she got tossed off and then it pops in, it looked more like she was just throwing it. It's like, fine, take it.
But she's back to normal.
Yep, she's back to her senses, and much like Waddle Dee before her, she decides to, you know, amend for her past mistakes and join our team.
Because they never explained it, but she has magic paint powers.
Literally.
Yeah, that wasn't a Dark Matter thing.
Yeah, anything she paints comes to life.
Anything except for the means to, you know, actually win the game.
Well, yeah.
Give me the
Yeah.
Star
There are
Rod.
some
You know what? I
rules.
feel like it's an
Nom.
instance of. I feel like there's an instance where it's like she can make anything as long as she knows how to properly draw it.
That's also true.
And I was gonna say, Celia, I don't know if you've ever seen all the cutscenes of this game, but like, I'm surprised you haven't. I'm surprised and sad you weren't able to get a chance with this game, because I would also argue that, like, at least for the time, this is also probably one of the cutest Kirby games in terms of like the characters in there and like how they interact with each other.
That's really narrowing it down because people could say that about a lot of Kirby games.
But like,
It is definitely the one. It is probably the one Kirby game that gives him like the most. Like since Superstar, I would say they really gave, you know, that kind of enriched their overall sense of character, especially with the cutscenes you encounter across the game.
yeah, I'll watch them with you afterwards if you haven't seen before, Celia.
Okay.
Have you ever seen them before? Have you ever
Yes,
seen the
you have you
cutscenes
seen
of
the
this game
cutscenes?
before?
No.
Okay, yeah, we'll watch them
Wow,
after this.
You have. I'm honestly surprised, Celia, for being such a big Kirby fanatic. You've never like, not even just like owning it, just getting any sense of.
I
You
know.
see?
I told them.
Even Cody's infuriated.
Even
Yeah.
Cody. But no, anyway, this castle looks familiar-ish.
Aw, dang it.
It looks a little.
Well, fine, I'll take it and leave.
Yeah.
Anyway, continue.
Honestly, something about this castle, Kirby,
boy.
don't go doing that, you idiot. But, what was I about to say? Honestly, I was expecting this castle to be a little more
Okay.
egocentric.
Right, considering its owner.
I did. So how fierce was Cody about Seely's dark secret?
So, oh. And I guess, seeing how this first part is going to be all the pop star, and we're almost done with it, should ask James, how hard is it to go for all these crystals?
For the most part, it's actually not that hard. It's just a matter of figuring out what sort of copy ability or combination you need in order to actually get them all. Because, I mean, for the most part, they're all pretty easy to decipher, but then there's a couple others that are borderline obtuse.
Well,
Yeah.
I know there's typically
bit.
a color coding to the block. Like, sometimes a block will be like, hey, you have to be this color in order to... Or you have to have this power combination in order to destroy it. Consume. But...
Not only there's that,
Can I
and
just say-
I know there's at least one or two other puzzles that, I mean, you literally need to have literal, like, you have to have had experience with Dreamland 3 to actually know what the fuck you're supposed to do with that.
Right.
particular
Can
There's
I just
that.
say?
Go ahead.
Can I just say how kind of disturbing it is that Kirby pretty much like throws chunks of himself whenever he uses Cutter in this game?
He's a weird
yeah.
alien.
Yeah.
He's like morph.
The game is... Oh, hey, Headline. What you got?
One
One up.
Ooh,
Thank you.
Thank
Oh,
you.
Thank you.
If you weren't at full health, that would instead be a Maxim tomato.
But I was say, what was I gonna say? The Kirby Dreamland 3 thing being pretty obtuse, because I agree. I would never have known that that's how that mechanic worked for those guys. But I would say the slightly even more dickish things that this game can do, unfortunately, is it will require you to have copy abilities that are impossible to obtain in that level. So you have to come back from another level with the ability and then go into that level to get the crystal.
I like to believe that this game doesn't do that, like, too terribly often, but
Yeah.
it can be a problem, yeah.
It's like twice
Yeah,
or
a
so,
few
but
times.
fortunately, if you've beaten a level at any point in time, you can pause and then leave the level and keep whatever copy ability you obtained.
Yep.
Which is something that is really, which, I mean, make the most out of it with the classic games, because by the time they got to Return to Dreamland and onward, they didn't give you that luxury.
I know, they always reset you back to normal. Oh,
Yeah,
Yeah.
they expect you to literally do repeats to the fullest, whether we want to or not.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah. I
Clunk,
mean,
clunk.
You don't like it? Suck it up. Be a real gamer.
Or a real king like DDD here.
hey,
Oh,
Sakurai.
hey, DDD.
Everything. Ooh, that's mine. I think I'll pawn it.
ooh, it's a shiny.
No, you don't.
Mine now.
Yeah, you give it back.
I saw it first.
Now give it.
I'm gonna sell this on DD Bag.
Give it.
Oh, hey, Dark Matter. I thought you were gonna do like, everything the light touches means it's mine, like that one there. Oh,
Ah, not again.
Why do I got this feeling?
DDD.
Oh.
Deep inside of me.
it's not as,
Kirby, you don't realize what you do to me.
it's not as bad as the first time he was possessed,
When you
though,
bite
right?
me with
No.
the freaky jaws, I gotta tell you. Why? I don't know what rhymes with jaws. Ah!
Okay.
Go ahead, Jason.
So this makes number 3 in the amount of times that Dark Matter's possessed this poor fuck.
This kind of scary, dude.
It's even scarier when he gets the mouth in one
Wow,
of the games.
holy
We
shit.
got it.
Yeah.
If you want to buy Crystal Shards renewed on Amazon, cheapest you could get is 57
Oh, this
bucks.
bit is like,
Wanna come?
no, I'm teaming up with that Kirby.
You'll be fine.
No,
Alright.
Yeah, your loss.
See ya.
Fine, I'll do it, but I can top bill it.
Only because
Top it
you,
on the
So-
box.
only because you saved my skin.
Anyway, you were saying Sealy, terribly sorry about that.
Let's go. Yes, you were saying that the cheapest you can find it, if you want a refurbished
if
version
you
of
want
the game, would be
Amazon
50.
renewed, it's 57 bucks.
But I can find it for people who are just selling it normally used for like 20 to 30 bucks.
Yeah, this game really isn't demanding that much.
Oh,
in
which-
terms of in terms of retail price. I mean,
Which awes-
but yeah, Wispy Woods. Apparently, he had children in between games.
Yeah.
Apparently.
You want to know how much it is new?
Nah, honestly, I'm gonna say, Sealy, just throwing this out there before we get back to our boss of just that time of the week for Wispy to get kicked in the butt again, is honestly, given that you run all those emulators or randomizers anyway, just emulate it.
Fair.
You know,
Yeah.
he has every right to be pissed at us, considering we just literally murdered his kids.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez, it's weird seeing him with the tentacle thorns though, and
Whoop-a-doo-doo.
but
So, what do we do about this?
And I always love doing this, like just trying to run away from him while he's just just literally trying to turn himself to our level.
he's like, oh, I wish I wasn't a tree.
Why
Well, too
All
bad.
I can do is
You
Nice.
learn on my axis and send out my.
I was gonna say, you were born a tree, you'll stay a tree.
Yeah.
Why couldn't I have been born a not tree?
And Kirby must fight his urges to eat the apple.
It's always the apples. Like, why is the one thing I grow something I cannot eat? It hurts me.
Well, sometimes it's worms.
This is cool. And this is Wispy Woods, right? Like, it's not some weird name like other versions.
Yeah, it's Wispy.
Woods.
It's Wispy true and true.
Did they?
I mean, honestly, the only times they ever really skirt on that is with the 3DS games, where instead of Wispy Woods, you're fighting his plant-based brethren.
Oh,
you
yeah.
didn't get an apple.
Also, Seely,
Uh-huh.
does the anime ever like explain like what is Wispy Woods just a jerk, or because we always fight him?
Not in the anime, he isn't.
Okay.
He's
He's
just,
a nice-
he's just protecting his woods, that's all.
He's just overly protective.
Oh, he's dead now.
Aw.
Yeah.
He is a force of nature.
Yeah, Wispy's always like, why do I even bother living if Kirby always kicks me?
I may as well be firewood.
I never want to be kicked. Cuts to DDD putting a kick me sign on his back.
Oh my god.
Wood.
And it's like, well, he's like, well, he's a tree. He's not gonna go anywhere. Let me have this.
So apparently, the Crystal Shard has this innate power to literally warp our heroes to distant lands.
It made a star-shaped portal. I get it.
Yeah, it's funny. I know you say that. Allie makes that same mistake in her old playthrough.
Yeah, I was
Oh
about to mention that.
yeah.
I did. I think I did it like 3 times in my whole playthrough.
It's okay.
Aw.
Yeah, and I
so
will
old.
say for those desperately curious, I would not recommend rewatching those because, especially in the parts where I make a guest appearance, because I was a very juvenile motherfucker back then.
Well, how's that different from now?
Hey.
Ouch.
I like to think I have substandard since then. But on that note, folks, see you all for the next part as we become rock stars.
Rock on!
Bye bye.
I quit the band. I never joined the band.
Boy,